Now back to more with GTO. Good old boys.
Matt's gonna be.
Hey guys, we're back. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Mr. Herren. You go right ahead.
No, I was just gonna talk smack. You go ahead.
Okay.
We'll do enough of that in a little bit.
We've got a diversified bunch here. We got them anywhere from 24 years old to 65, and they're on the good side over here. And then we've got the mediocres over here.
Troublemakers.
Yep, the troublemakers. That's it. Matt VanMeter.
Yep.
It's going to be on you.
I don't know. Yes. Okay.
Where is the line drawn as far as forward facing? Through professional sports and your weekend angler.
It's got to stop at the elite level. Don't get me wrong, I love MLF, but they've got to get that. You don't know who's fishing what over at MLF, and that bugs me. You know, I've watched this sport since the early 90s, late 80s, and I've seen a lot of changes. I've known a lot of these guys, and I think it just doesn't need to be at the professional level. And I think that goes for both tours, you know, whether it be MLF or Elite Series. And I think that one that's coming, what's that, Touring Anglers, is that right? Touring Anglers?
Is that the one next year?
No, that's Alan Brooks. He's a guy that owns a tech company over in Atlanta. He fished as a co-angler with FLW for years when I was there. And he's just a guy that really loves fishing. And I know he knows that we're kind of at a crossroads in the sport.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to grow.
And I don't know. It's just an interesting time.
Right.
I think you got guys that are kind of pushing back, say, you know, wanting to do something a little different.
Right.
And he's one of them guys. Whether it goes anywhere or not, I don't know.
Right. Time will tell that.
Yeah, time will tell that. And they're just right now. There's just a lot of conversation.
It is.
There's a lot of conversations about what the direction we need to go is.
And according to whatever you like to fish is the way that you're leading. And, you know, it's got to stop where it says you're a professional fisherman, because the elites are called the elites for a reason.
Yeah, we're supposed to be professionals for a reason.
Exactly.
Which also means we're supposed to be able to use everything.
Exactly.
But there's a balance.
Yes.
And I think we got to find that balance. And bass, now I'm going to tell you, we took a survey a few days ago.
Uh-huh.
They reach out to us. I mean, it's not a communist country, you know.
Correct. Exactly. Thank God.
They want our input. They're trying to find the balance, and they're trying to ask us what we want. And they're struggling with it too. Because everybody can say, you know, that stuff's been around since what? I think 15.
Yeah.
2015, I was on Lake Martin, and one of my sponsors, I was in his boat, and it was the first time I seen Panoptics. And I thought,
in 2015?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been that long.
It's been that long.
Wow.
Yeah, and it really, it was a cool version of DI in its primitive form.
Mm-hmm.
Because it literally looked like a real-time down imaging, because it was shooting at a cone down. And what was cool about it is, you know, it was shooting off a trolling motor straight down, but it was one of them deals where you could see the fish moving around on it. And that day, I learned something that day with it that would really kind of pique my interest with it, because, like, you'd idle over a school 40, 50 foot deep with traditional sonar, right, with down imaging, and you'd see them dotted up down there, and you could peel around and you put the trolling motor down with that product on it, and if they weren't moving around, if you just seen them lay on the bottom, you could leave. They wasn't biting. But as soon as you put that trolling motor down, if they were up in the water column and they were swimming and active, it was game on. I mean, as soon as you dropped the bait, it was bit before it got through there.
Wow.
So even in its primitive form, but that primitive form of it, I mean, it was just a hopped up down imaging is what it was. And it kind of remained that way all the way until really Lowrance is probably their LVS 32.
So Lowrance had an early version of it called Spotlight Scan or something like that, and it was basically 2D shooting out in front of you.
Right, but I'm talking about this last update. What was that? Did the 32 come before the 34?
Yep, you had the 32 on the Garmin, 34, then you got the Active Target 1 and then Active Target 2.
Right, but I know there was a time there where that product kind of upped the game, and that's really when everything started changing.
Yep.
That's when everything. So everybody, everybody's gonna hate me and all that. They're gonna say, "Well, you had side imaging and down imaging." We're all sitting at this table can all agree that was not that was traditional sonar.
Yeah.
And then when that product come, it kind of changed the game, and it's just, what you were going to go into, and you go on and finish up. But basically, what we got to decide now, is that the elephant in the room is what's going to be next.
I don't know. Technology is not going to stop. I personally, I would love to see Humminbird make a Mega Live 360.
Oh, I wouldn't put it past them.
I think it's. There's been hints and rumors, I'm sure.
Yeah, but here's the deal. At what point
does it need to stop?
No, at what point does technology take the pure joy out of going fishing? If here's my question. If you knew before you got to the lake that you were going to pull up and you're going to have that product and you could pick out what 4 and 5 pounders that you wanted to try to catch, how long would that remain exciting?
It wouldn't, because I think what keeps me going is the fact that I'll go out here and I'll have a terrible day, but I've got to figure it out. That's the only way I'm wired. And if you caught them every time you went out,
wouldn't be no fun anymore.
It wouldn't be any more fun.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You wouldn't get to see that frog come out of that.
You know when it's coming. And I think that'll be coming eventually.
Tell me, is there anything better than seeing that grass hump up coming out of that frog?
No, I agree with you.
When you see him start pushing water, and then for 3 or 4 feet, and every time here it comes.
No, I agree 100%. Kermit's fun to throw.
Oh yeah, but it's but no, technology. We're at a point where my fear is, while advancements have been great in all things, when it takes the joy out of going fishing, because there's still something about going throwing a bob, putting a minnow below a bobber and watching the bobber go down.
You don't know what you got.
Tell me, is there anything better than watching the bobber go boom?
Nope, there's nothing. Or see it start going like that and then boom.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, take your 4-year-old or a 5-year-old out here and put him on one of these bluegill beds
That's
in
right.
the spring,
Mm-hmm.
and put him a cricket on there.
Yep.
And watch his eyeballs and that bobber go.
Well, take me. You said watch me, just put me on them.
But there's just a point where fishing's good for the soul.
Yes. Being outdoors.
Yeah, but
seeing God's creations.
But when we lose that mystique, that unknown,
yes,
the unknown, that's what kicks you back. It's just like every time that line goes, boom, you set the hook, and you don't know what it is, and when it goes rock solid, it does that old head shake backing up.
That's it.
It's like, oh, here we go.
No, I agree with you. I think that the sport needs more of that and less of the forward facing. I do, but I don't know that we'll ever see it. At this point, there's so many sponsored dollars on these tournament trails that you're not going to see that go away.
Here's all you need to know about it. And I told y'all this before we come on, and I believe this with all my heart. There's rules in place right now that I can't use a dip net.
Oh, yep.
If a net company called tomorrow and said, we're going to pay you $2 million for y'all to net fish, you think we go net and fish?
Yes.
And there'd be a 4-ounce penalty for every one of them you didn't net to.
Possibly so, yes.
And is I understand
money dictates.
Yeah, I was going to say is money. Those sponsors is why I have a job.
Correct.
Understand?
Yes, I do.
But at what point are we kind of killing ourselves for the money?
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like you're pushing them sponsors out to a certain point.
Certain ones.
Yes, certain sponsors.
Oh, sure. If you can't afford to be in the game, you're out.
Right. Exactly.
You're out.
And that's me. I ain't, it's just like, tell them about the boat you seen fishing the other day.
Oh, yeah.
This is a good one, guys.
Only in
The South.
no.
Oh,
Walk. I'm gonna have to crack on my home state on this one now.
okay. Only in Alabama.
Maybe Mississippi too, but
Okay.
I'm sure it's Alabama. But only I'm gonna narrow it down to Walker County or Coleman County, Alabama. I was over there pre-fishing. I went and spent a day at Smith Lake, and there was a guy. He had him it looked to be about like a 12 to 14 foot. I'm not even sure what kind of aluminum boat it was. It was kind of painted up, camoed, and he had him a 6 horsepower Tohatsu on it. But he had him an Ultrex and two 8600 Garmins on the bow of that boat.
He was ready to fish Smith Lake.
I looked in his boat. He had 2 jerk baits, 4 spinning poles and minnows on him. I said, "He can go and get
Yep,
it."
there you go. Exactly.
You can look at it both ways on like the younger guys that have grown up, like we were talking about earlier, they've grown up with live scope only, and that's the only way they know. So that's what they're going to have to do. I think how you're talking about the new division that's coming, where it's going to be like no live scope they had on Lanier and people doing that. I think if they start a circuit like that, I think you'll have your older generation go that way and your younger generation go this way, whichever tournament circuit it happens to be. I think that's what's going to happen. Because I just can't see him taking away live scope with all the money that's in Garmin, live scope, and all that type of stuff. So.
All right, Matt, with him saying that, could you see
No, there's not going to be a split.
there's not going to be a split to whereas you have your
No, I don't.
your 2 fish at the end?
I don't think so. I mean, look, I fish the best league in there is.
Exactly.
But Bassmasters is professional fishing, and I really look to them to get it right. Do I think it'll be all gone away? I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe. I mean, I would like to see it gone. Just personally speaking, I'd like to see it go back to the purity of what it was. But
Right.
reality is, like he's saying, there's too
Exactly.
much money. But I think there needs to be a balance.
But where that crossroads is, what is the balance in your perspective?
I think we're gonna have to go to, and they've been kicking around the idea of like a 50-50. I truly think going into the 25 season, you're gonna see half the season with it, half the season without it.
Okay.
That's what I would see. It just, and then it's gonna force these cats that are live scope gurus. They can pull their panties up and learn how to fish.
Correct.
And they might be a lot better at it than what you think they are. But the thing is, they should be forced to have to fish.
Yeah.
Correct.
Just like
and it's fair.
Just like me right now. I'm beating my head against the wall. Look, I've got a live on my boat, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I am desperately learning how to use it.
Right.
The only thing I can tell you about it from my personal opinion is miserable.
Right.
That's what I was about to say. I was about to say, like, you're saying your point of view, but like from my point of view,
Oh,
and
yeah.
like all the young point of views, they're like, well, all these older generation guys are complaining about live scope. Well, why don't they just pull their, like what you said, pull their panties up and learn how to use live scope?
Sure,
to be
as soon as
competitive.
they pick up a flip stick, come get in the bushes with me, I'll pull it. Yeah. They go, go get your flip stick and let's go get in the bush. Let's see how it works out for you.
Yeah.
Look like you got cut
But
up with a box of
I
razor
can,
blades.
I can see both sides, and I really like the idea of going 50-50. Personally,
I could
that's
see-
me looking in.
Yeah.
That I'm never going to be fishing against you, and I'm not going to be fishing the weekends as much as what you do.
No.
But me sitting here looking at it, I like to see somebody fishing. I like to see somebody casting if I'm watching it on TV.
Well, scheduling can do a lot of that too.
Yeah.
And you could go by scheduling and a couple of rule changes, and everything would be worked out perfect. To whereas both generations can fish together.
Yeah, they got to find a balance
Right, I agree.
because everybody
I
say
agree.
it's been around forever. No, this ain't really changed in the last couple of years. The last couple of years and the last advancements in the technology really made it to where it was effective all the time.
Gotcha.
We seen Patrick Walters win fork that first time
Yes,
with a jerk bait, and it kind of opened everybody's eyes like, hold on now. But it wasn't one of these deals where it was a tool you could use every day.
right.
And then we seen Tyler Rivette win at Okeechobee. And it was like, hold on a minute. But then this year, when Scott Martin did what he did at Okeechobee, it showed that product has no limitations.
Yeah.
That was the game changer. When he done what he done at Okeechobee, that was like, we've unleashed a monster.
Right.
And now you've taken somebody, you basically give somebody a Game Boy that he's a professional fisherman. If he masters that technology, he's a professional fisherman. Is that what we want? Is that what a pro is?
That's the questions that need to be answered.
Same thing. He and I were talking about baseball. He's a baseball player.
Right. And a good one.
Yes, sir. Played for Purdue and
Yes.
a great baseball player. But like I said, and like he said, he hit a dead red fastball. He couldn't hit the rest of the junk. That's why he ain't playing in the major leagues.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Yeah. And it's just like, I agree with the point. I mean, I've got a live product on my boat, and I'm trying.
Right.
And because throughout my career, I've gone from, I showed up and I had a spinnerbait and a jig on my boat, but let's go fishing. So, now, I mean, I can't close the lids on my FXR Skeeter because I got 66 rods in there.
Right.
And I fuss more in the morning and in the evenings trying to put them up and put them out.
There you go.
Because I got so much stuff laid up there. And but I enjoy that part of it. Mm-hmm. I like being a versatile angler. I really, really do. I just don't think we got to find a balance because technology should not overrule your God-given ability.
Correct.
That's
yes.
at the professional level. If we're going to cover, we're truly going. If it's not, this is just a market. I told you this earlier. If we continue down the road, we're continuing. This is not a professional sport because we're giving away century belts like popcorn, and that shouldn't happen. And
explain to the folks what a century belt is.
Century belt is a 4-day accumulated weight over 100 pounds.
Okay,
and
that's a century belt.
I think up until the last 2 years, they ain't probably been
not like it has.
Like 6 or 7 of them given away in the history of bass.
Okay, and now they just about every tournament.
Yeah, now it's commonplace.
Okay,
because of technology. If you look, all those century belts that were gotten, they weren't got by somebody flipping a jig in the bush.
Right.
They were got by somebody in front of a scope. Gotcha. And that's what happened. So do we want to discredit all the great anglers and all the great accomplishments up until the last 2 years? We're going to diminish that. We want to, but Major League Baseball don't do it.
Right.
You have home run records and you have all the professional football's got all theirs, but the whole deal is they have an advisory board that controls the players, the technology, all the equipment and all that kind of keeps the sport into a somewhat of a confines of this is the sport. If we don't, we're just fishing the marketing, and I think we're getting really close to this is a marketing competition. It's not a sport anymore.
Right.
Basically, professional anglers pay a $5,000 entry fee, and we're just fishing a marketing competition. The leagues are putting on a marketing competition. Basically, technology don't matter. There ain't no rules, and just go catch what you can catch. Let's just start calling it a marketing competition if that's what we're going to do, because we ain't fishing the sport no more.
Right.
So that's my opinion.
That sounds good. Well, everybody's got an opinion, and people don't forget that your opinion does matter. And this is just something that you can look at for the future reference. What is bass fishing coming to as a professional sport? Think about it. Don't jump to too many quick conclusions. And please be honest, but respect who you're talking to and say it in a respectful manner, and everything's going to be great. So I want to personally thank all of y'all for y'all's responses, for being here. It's been great. I felt like the guy in the back that's been left out because I don't know what's going on. But
we'll get you up to speed.
That sounds like a winner. But y'all, please tune in, and I hope you really enjoyed this podcast. Thank you so much.